Amazon is not come from, like, their base is not a service providing firm, but like a lot of different big company, which sounds like Google, Microsoft, Apple, AT&T, even they are trying to do, like, putting more effort to do some research on cloud computing. So what is it about? I mean, in the internet service provider side, what is a cloud computing about? Okay, it's quite interesting that let's talk about the previous model. The previous model is that, okay, let's say we are selling a commercial broadband to some users. They're using it, plug it in, and they receive the email service, they receive internet connectivity, and that's all. That's all they get, okay? And the second stage turns out to be like the service provider trying to provide some anti-spam service, anti-spam email service, and also some other add-on service, for example, MMS or the SMS, the email to SMS service, for the commercial side, and right now, and since cloud computing is getting like bigger and bigger, but nobody even know what's going on. And the model is simple, okay? It sounds like a gateway, any kind of gateway. For example, if you need a database connectivity, the cloud computing service provider will provide a gateway, for example, a port number or an IP address and also a port number for you to connect it. For example, I want specific as MySQL. I want MySQL connectivity. I need a database for such amount of processing time. Processing power, and also I need such kind of storage space to utilize your service. Okay, fine. And we are getting there is that we will sell out a meter service. For example, we might count how many query are you like reading every week or every day or every month, and then we will turn it into money. Money means that how much you are going to pay for the service. It's kind of like win-win situation because the application provider don't want to buying some overpowered service. For example, previously I got the experience like that. Okay, let's order a 1G internet connection. 1G for data center is huge. It's like another fiber to somewhere else. And then we check the utilization. It's not a lot. It's like 10 meg only. Like, think about this. It's kind of waste. So actually, we are using we are going to shift to an area which is all metered service. For example, the bandwidth is metered. The service specific surface is quite like it's not same as the previous model. And also the hardware, have you ever heard about like Rackspace?
Rackspace have a similar cloud.
Yeah, the Rackspace
is cheaper than S3 or something?
Sorry?
Was cheaper than Amazon S3?
I can't say it's cheaper. Rackspace like selling high quality stuff. I can't rank it as cheap. But then the model is quite interesting because when you call them, hey, I need a server which could run like Windows 2003 and running Microsoft SQL for like, I don't know, maybe 2005, and they will set it up for you. Just run. You just give them your credit card number, and then they will keep it and working for the next business day. Okay, same concept, but then we don't actually rent a server to a client. We run a service-specific gateway to like different client. For example, if you need MySQL, I will rent the MySQL for you, and also within a lot of like constraint. For example, the traffic can't be over like certain levels, and also the processing power. For example, in the future, we could see that. For example, let's say your company is doing design. It's a design house. Think about what do you need for a design house? A high memory and high CPU usage. for each computer, right? For example, you got 3 designers within a design house. They need to get a really high, like demanding on CPU and the memory. The next stage of that will be, I believe that is that it will shift to an area that is all remote. Think about why should I place my application within my desktop? It doesn't make sense. Do you feel it makes sense? Because my desktop got a limited resource. You know, after a couple of years, it will degrade, and I'm like, you need to upgrade every year or every half year. So turns out to be a service provider job to help you to upgrade the hardware. You don't have the concept of, okay, how many Xeon am I getting? No, it's not going to that way. It turns out to be like how many megahertz or how many gigahertz are you going to get? Yeah.
There seems to be a similar trend in online gaming, whereby you subscribe to an online service provider that streams you the game, and therefore you only need a dumb client to actually receive the screen pixels.
Yeah.
You don't actually need the upgraded video graphics card or hardware.
Yeah.
Is that
But that particular example you're talking about is still, a lot of people are still very apprehensive about it because they
course.
showed, and then everybody's talking about lag and stuff like that. So
yeah, is the internet ready for this? Basic data is okay.
Yeah.
But like CPU intensive.
No, because the so-called the wave is getting like higher and it's hard to catch. You know, the development stage is quite long because think about this, to transfer from a regular desktop into a cloud desktop, so-called cloud desktop, because your desktop is hosted within a data center infrastructure. You don't need to care what is it about. Okay, leave it to us. Okay. The software development, the kernel patching to make sure that the kernel notice that I'm on an environment which is a metered environment, something like that. And you know, a lot of companies still still under development on this stage. But the situation is that sooner or later, all of our desktop will